Thanks for entering the crypt with us. We're Bone Patrol. I'm Chris.
I'm Tyler.
And no Aaron. Just me and Tyler today.
Sad day.
It's about to get weird.
Oh, yeah.
It's not. It's going to be good. Me and Tyler are going to do kind of a shorter one today. Aaron couldn't make it. He's out on vacation. Ugh, lame.
Yeah, he's out to catch the big Idaho potato monster. There's a monster that's been stealing their potatoes, and Aaron has taken up the great crusade to fight this monster.
Kill the Spotosaurus.
Spotosaurus.
Murder it. So, today's going to be a little bit shorter. So, just bear with us. It's going to be a lot of goofs, a lot of gaffes, the usual, you know. But Tyler's planned this one out pretty good, so we're going to let him carry this one.
All right. My back might be broken, but I'll carry it. Beautiful. But Chris, today we have a beautiful story here. We're going to be talking about these crazy events that happen to this newly wedded couple that moves into this new apartment in Manhattan in New York. So this story takes place in the mid-60s, you know, free love,
Woo!
Doing all that LSD, doing that disco stuff. Well, maybe not disco, but maybe whatever music they listen to.
Creed. Nope, that's not right. What is it? What's the water guy? Something.
CCR?
Yeah, well, how do you say it? I
I
wanted to say Creed Clearwater, but I realized...
Creedence Clearwater Revival.
Credence. I was close.
Yeah, pretty close.
That's something they would listen to.
I thought that was 70s, though. And it doesn't
Free
matter.
love in the 70s, too,
yeah?
bro.
I mean, those are the days I want to go to. So this couple, their last name is the Woodhouse. And there's going to be Guy, who's the husband. He's a struggling actor. And,
the husband's a guy or his name is Guy?
Oh, his name is Guy.
That's going to be confusing.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I assume he's a guy. I didn't ask him, so...
Yeah, but you're not a doctor. You wouldn't have known.
Yeah, I just don't want to assume his gender, but I'm assuming he's the husband.
Yeah, that's fair. We'll stick with that.
So he's a struggling actor. You know, he plays backups in Broadway. He does TV commercials, but you know, he's setting his sights on the star in a Broadway play.
Get his freaking name on Hollywood, a star, put his hands in the concrete, get him all dirty.
Maybe his butt cheeks there. I mean, that might be a way.
Maybe his butt cheeks. Speaking of which, this is off topic, but there's a funny thing that has to kind of do with New York, but not really. It's Spider-Man. You know Hannibal from the Eric Andre show?
Hannibal, yeah.
Yeah, and he's in Spider-Man Homecoming, and when they did the red carpet, he paid some random dude to go be him at the red carpet. So he's obtained what Guy wants, and he's just rubbing it in his face by disrespecting it.
And Guy's just this guy who's like... Guys, there's this guy. I'm gonna keep on saying that, but
guys, there's a guy named Guy, guys.
Yeah, he's just a guy. And his wife is this energetic redhead named Rosemary, who's eager to get that bun in the oven, if you know what I mean.
Rosemary.
Oh, Rosemary. But yeah, so they're excited. They tour this place, this apartment, and it's really big and spacious, and they're like, man, we love this apartment. And their old landlord's like, you know that apartment complex you guys want to live in? There's some creepy stuff that's been happening there.
Oh, have it no other way.
Oh, I mean, there's witches, there's cannibalism, and of course, satanic rituals.
Of course, dude.
The trifecta of a lovely home.
Oh yeah, that's how you turn a house into a home. Beautiful.
Yeah, forget about that live, laugh, and love stuff. You got cannibalism, you got witches, and you got satanic rules, and you've got that dinging.
But yeah, no, for reals, if you want to turn your house into a home, you know, like you move in somewhere and you're like, something's just not right.
Yeah.
It's because you haven't broke out the Ouija board yet.
Yeah, you need to have salt and make that a pentagram. You need to buy candles galore, and you need a goat head.
You know what? Get rid of all your furniture too. You don't need it.
Yeah, you don't need that for a satanic ritual.
Get rid of the furniture.
Yeah.
This isn't a crack house. This is a crack home.
Oh yeah. So you know they don't really care about that stuff. So they move in and they meet a very nice older couple. Their names is Roman and Minnie Castevet. really nice. They're oddly friendly. Like you know, like if you've ever lived in a apartment complex, you know your neighbors. You kind of say, "Oh, hi," in passing. You don't really talk to them.
Quick meet and greet. You might like shake hands.
You might shake hands.
Tickle their toes.
I mean,
just in quick passing.
Just
though.
quick
Nothing
passing.
Weird.
Just yeah. But these guys like take a liking to them, and Rosemary eventually gets pregnant, and the older couple like get like really like protective, and they start like, oh, you need to see this doctor, he's the best doctor, you need to take these stuff, you need to eat this, you need to eat that, and
but don't forget about the doctor
and also guy's like, yeah, like he's agreeing with them, and Rosemary's just like, I'm feeling a little paranoid, but like I want to do what's right for my baby, and I think this is right, but like I'm getting all these pains and sicknesses, but she starts thinking that these guys might be in a witch coven.
Oh.
Because there's some like odd details coming up.
This one guy has horns.
Yeah.
Their neighbor has hoofs.
Yeah, he has a pierced ear, and guys can't pierce their ears. Heaven forbid, in the mid-60s.
All floating
crucified.
Furniture.
Yeah. Wow. But maybe she's just paranoid.
Probably.
Yeah, I mean, pregnant women are paranoid.
It's the baby doing all the thinking.
It's the baby.
It's like the scene from SpongeBob where Plankton takes over the brain. That's the baby in there doing all the thinking.
I think
eat peanut butter and pickle. Good for health. Stupid baby.
But probably by now you're like, wait a second. I've seen this movie on HBO. Right?
I think I've seen this movie.
Yeah. Well, we're going to be talking about the 1968 movie Rosemary's Baby.
Rosemary.
She is a spicy redhead who gets pregnant with the Antichrist.
Wow.
Craziness.
Just a wallop right there. Just punch you in the face with that one.
It's directed by Roman Polanski, who I found out isn't from Rome.
No?
No.
Why? I feel like you can't be named Roman without being from Rome. That's like being named July and not being born in July, or being named Honda Civic and not being conceived in the back of a Honda Civic.
Being named COVID-19 and not being born during COVID-19.
Yeah, that's weird.
But yeah, so we're going to talk about this movie, and kind of like our Poltergeist episode, there's some weird happenings on the set of this movie.
So it's another haunting around the cast and crew.
Mm-hmm. And some people say, this movie is cursed because it deals with the Antichrist.
That does seem like a good way to get your film cursed, is involve the Antichrist.
Do a little satanic ritual, be like, hey, curse this movie and everyone who is in it, and bada bing, bada boom, you got a curse.
The bada bing, bada boom, you summoned Flick, the Antichrist.
The Antichrist, yep.
From Bug's Life. Flick
Bug's Life.
From Bug's Life.
So wait, is Flick the Antichrist?
Oh, have you seen Bug's Life? There's a lot of
subtle
hints. Lots of them.
I'll never look at Bug's Life again in the same way.
I'm just never gonna look at it.
I'm never gonna look at it.
I hate that movie now.
But the first thing that everyone talks about is the death of the composer, and the composer's name is Christoph Komeda.
Crisscross applesauce.
Crisscross applesauce. I probably mispronounced his name. He's Polish. He's known for doing like composing like jazz music stuff. So like that's why the soundtrack is so like jazzy, like especially during like the creepy scenes. It's like
everyone knows jazz is of the devil.
Yeah. My parents tell me all the time.
If I listen to jazz, I get hit with a belt.
Yep.
Bonk.
Bonkity bonk. So Rosemary's Baby came out October, I think it was, I have it written down.
Oh, it's a Halloween film.
So it's like October 16, I think, somewhere around there, 1968. And so after the movie was released, he was at this party.
Roman?
No, the composer.
Oh, the composer. Okay.
Mr. Christoph. He was partying it up.
Oh, he was killing it. I'm sure he was cutting a rug. Maybe cutting a few rugs.
Oh, cutting them rugs. The house guests probably didn't like that, but it's a party.
They knew what they were doing when they invited him. He's known for cutting rugs.
I mean, Bone Patrol's parties are like on the bottom of the scale. I mean, this party is probably crazy.
We might have cut a few loose ends off a rug once.
Yeah, that was crazy.
Yeah.
So he's at this party, and maybe he's a little tipsy, maybe he's a little drunk. He falls off a cliff.
Maybe he was a little more than tipsy and
yeah.
Maybe he was just a little bit plastered.
He was chasing the angel that is trying to get him to follow.
Yeah, he might have been on a little bit of heroin, a little bit of LSD.
Yeah,
anything to cloud his judgment.
But yeah, he falls off a cliff.
Like driving, walking.
So I'm assuming this party was outside, and so imagine like a canyon, and you know how they have these outcrops of rocks.
Is it like the Hollywood Hills and stuff?
I would think so, because
I heard that there was like an earthquake and some famous person's house started to slide down the hill. So there's steep hills.
There's steep hills, yeah. So he falls off, slips into a coma for months, and then he ends up dying April 23rd, 1969.
I just can't help but imagine he's really tripping out on whatever they've got, and he's just walking through the backyard by himself, and he walks like a good 20 steps off the cliff, just like in like a cartoon, like Roadrunner.
Yeah, like Roadrunner. He's chasing Roadrunner. He's Wile E. Coyote.
And his trip, he can see the camera, and he looks at it like they do in the cartoons.
Go,
and then he goes,
goop,
and then he just hits the ground.
But yeah, you may be thinking, well, that's just a guy who's drugged out of his mind and he dies. That's not cursed.
Mm-mm.
Well, so in the movie, their old landlord, Hutch, in that movie, he dies the exact same way.
He walks off a cliff?
Doesn't walk off a cliff, but he slips into a coma and he's in the coma for a couple months, and he dies because of brain hemorrhaging. Hemorrhage.
Are we trying to talk to whales?
Yeah, I've practicing. But wait.
But there's like connections there. The deaths are similar.
Similar.
Okay.
So like, bing, bing. Okay.
Bing, bing. That's Tyler's radar going off. Yep. Bing, bing.
So the next person is the producer of the film, William Castle. And this dude,
sounds fancy.
Yeah, well, I looked at a picture of him, and he looks fancy.
Does he? Does he got a stash?
No, but he looks like he sticks his pinky out when he's drinking that cup of tea.
Ooh.
So this dude is kind of famous for producing a lot of B movies. If you know what a B movie is.
Yeah, there's the one.
Kind of what.
Jerry
Seinfeld.
Yes.
He does a lot of those. I'm kidding.
He does the B movie.
The B movie, yeah.
Yeah.
These are movies with low budgets, but
yeah.
he had a fair amount of success with doing those, and he was chosen to produce Rosemary's Baby, which is a grade A film. And so he's like, he's super excited, but he's also kind of nervous because of the storyline of how people are going to react.
Yeah, it's dark. It's kind of like when The Exorcist came out, people were not receiving it well.
Yeah.
It was early on in like horror, like intense horror. So seeing like intensity like that was bizarre.
Well, especially in this time period, like thinking of the movies that have come out during this time period, they're pretty mild.
Yeah.
Like I can think of, Clash of the Titans, there's Space Odyssey, which I mean is a drug trip.
I'm legit.
Legit is a drug trip.
Yeah.
But like dealing with the horror genre, there's not many like crazy movies out there, but this was like one of the first.
It's so odd because back then there was boundaries, but there was no boundaries. You can have a PG movie where they're saying like the F word and stuff,
and has nudity,
and then there's also like it talks too much about Satan, and it's
rated R, man.
Yeah, so it's just that was an odd period.
It
for
was
Hollywood.
The rating system was kind of out of whack. So like he was worried about like how audiences were gonna receive it. And so when the movie was released, there was some backlash. The Catholic Church didn't particularly like it.
You're telling me the Catholics don't like a movie about the Antichrist?
No, it's so weird.
Yeah.
I mean, they talk about the Antichrist. They have scripture about the Antichrist. But why not make a movie?
Let's just make a film.
You can make a film about the Ten Commandments, but when Satan is talked about, hey, wait, we can't do that.
We're just making a movie, dude.
Yeah.
Come on.
But after this film was released, and he gets a lot of backlash, of course. But in April, so the same month, when the composer dies, Christoph, April 1969, he is hospitalized with severe kidney stones.
Was he just chugging Code Reds?
Code Reds all the time. Like
he pinky out with the Code Red, baby.
He pinkied out, yeah.
Oh,
fancy guy right here.
Put it in a teacup, even.
And during his hospital stay, he became like mentally unstable. Like legitimately.
I've never heard of someone like getting kidney stones and losing
their mind. Yeah. But he never produced any hit movies ever again. He might have produced a couple movies after that, but they were just not very good.
They should have taken advantage of this and had him star in the B-rated movies.
Which is funny because he actually shows up in Rosemary's Baby. He's the guy. So when the ending scene, or not ending scene, but the phone booth scene when she's calling the doctor, he's the dude smoking the cigar.
Like that's blocking her in.
Blocking her in.
Huh.
Yeah, that's him. But yeah. So the next one, we're going to talk about the writer of Rosemary's Baby because it was a book before it was a movie. And this guy's name is Ira Levin.
Wow, all these guys got fancy names.
I mean, who doesn't want to name their kid Ira?
I mean,
I
don't know.
Like that one person who named their kid Absidy, who was spelled ABCD.
What is Elon Musk's child name? It's like ZA12.
Well, funny thing you mentioned that California's like, you can't name your kid that, and so he's threatening to leave California.
So how do you pronounce that child's name?
Kyle.
Kyle?
No, I'm just kidding. Kyle. That's just my guess.
I just feel like he's getting set up to talk like an alien. He's gonna be like, "Greetings, Earthlings," and they're shut up, Zal12.
Well, I mean, everyone knows Elon Musk is a lizard.
Oh yeah, well, I mean but like.
So his kid's gonna be.
And Grimes is the Antichrist.
Oh my gosh! So he's gonna be a lizard Antichrist.
Lizard Antichrist.
Lizard Antichrist. Is he gonna eat ants?
What if his name is pronounced Flick?
Oh my gosh. So Elon Musk is the father of Flick.
Yeah, maybe.
That's why we never seen Flick's father in Bug's Life.
Because it's Elon Musk.
Yeah. Craziness, man.
Connecting dots. That's what we're about here at Bone Patrol is connecting the dots.
Connecting the dots. So Ira, while he was writing this book, he kind of like played it off his life, which is interesting because...
Wait, what?
Well, so like... In the movie Rosemary's Baby, Rosemary's pregnant and they live in this Manhattan apartment. Same thing with Ira and his wife.
And she had the Antichrist.
Well, no, not quite. She, after the movie came out, because he wouldn't let her read the book. So after...
So I'm gonna write this book. I'm gonna spend hours and hours a day writing this book.
But my wife's not gonna read it.
But you don't get to read this.
Yeah, because it's almost about her, which is interesting.
That is kind of. I don't think I'd want to read that either. If someone like thought they viewed me that way, you know, like that'd be very uncomfortable. It's actually funny you'd say that because the guy who made Transformers based Optimus Prime off of his wife.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
So wait, is his wife a semi-truck?
Uh-huh. Yeah, and from space. A semi-truck from space.
So does his wife go, Autobots, roll out?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Man, I wish I had a wife that was an Autobot.
She would never let go of her favorite Rubik's Cube.
Your Rubik's Cube, yeah. her whole family was robots. But Ira, kind of like similar to Castle, he was nervous. Like, he knew this was a good book and people were going to like it, but he was also nervous about the backlash. And the Catholic Church, after the movie came out and the book, they gave the movie a C rating.
Like on Rotten Tomatoes?
That's what I thought when I first read it. I was like, C rating? What? So are we grading him by like a GPA scale?
Yeah.
Like C, like as in, it's okay.
Yeah, so Passion of Christ is a 4.0.
4.0.
We're sitting at a 2.75 GPA with this one.
No, C means for condemned.
Oh,
yeah.
So it's an F.
so it's an F.
Okay.
But yeah, that's kind of confusing that they gave it a C rating.
So, like, you go on Rotten Tomatoes to see, like, percentages, but you can also go to see, like, is this movie condemned or not? Like,
Well, and also, I imagine the Catholic Church wrote on... Because you know you can write reviews on Rotten Tomatoes. I imagine they wrote on Rotten Tomatoes, don't see this movie. It is condemned.
Yeah.
I did not like the acting. I did not like the storyline. I didn't understand it.
So, do they have... Somebody had to have watched it then.
I know, like... I can imagine a nun being like...
Yeah, like they forced some poor overly religious nun to watch the movie. Gosh.
Yeah, I know. Kind of sad, right?
Bizarre, for sure.
What other movies have they watched? They probably watched The Exorcism.
Probably Poltergeist.
Poltergeist.
They're all probably condemned.
Yeah.
We know for sure that Bug's Life is condemned.
Yeah.
There's no doubt about that. Season 3, episode 4 of Caillou is condemned.
Oh, all of Caillou is condemned.
Well, it's on the verge, but that one specifically is you can't make a movie about a kid with cancer.
Yeah.
A TV show for kids about a kid with cancer? No.
Yeah.
Little Bill is definitely condemned.
Yeah, for sure. Not even because of Bill Crosby.
Crosby?
Crosby.
My name's Bill Crosby.
I like a wiggity woos. Yeah, why did they show kids that were bald? Like,
how dare they?
How dare they, man?
They don't talk about bald children in the scriptures.
Yeah. But yeah. So Ira becomes like really distant and reclusive. He divorces his wife after the movie comes out.
She doesn't divorce him?
Or I think she divorced him,
okay,
sorry. She divorced him because I don't know if it's because of the movie, but yeah. But yeah, he does produce some other books, but they don't do as well as Rosemary's Baby.
Yeah.
And lastly, we have Roman Polanski himself.
Oh, the man, the myth, the legend.
Yeah.
Roman, not from Rome.
Roman, not from Rome. And you might be like, hey, that name sounds familiar. Well, it does. If you've seen Once Upon a Time in Hollywood or know anything about the Manson family.
Oh.
So, he was married to Sharon Tate.
That's the girl who invented the toaster strudel.
Really?
No.
Oh.
No, it's not.
All right. But, so this happened 1 year after the movie came out, 1969. And we all know the story.
All of this takes place in 1969.
Pretty much.
Cursed
so
year.
just 1 year after the movie comes out, all this bad stuff happens.
Cursed year.
So we know the story that, the Manson family, they get riled up because their leader, Mr. Charlie, the guy who with the crazy voice. I mean, if you've ever listened to his interviews in prison, that dude's just wild. Like, he could be a motivational speaker if he wasn't a cult leader.
I mean, I feel like half of being a cult leader is being a momotivational speaker. Because
pretty
gotta
much,
pump
yeah.
people up to just, like, eat rocks and then kill people.
Eat rocks. All right, what we're going to do here is going to eat some rocks. Oh, yeah. But yeah, they killed Sharon Tate and a couple of her friends. Roman Polanski, however, was in Europe at the time. So he missed all of that.
That's convenient.
Yeah, very convenient. And that's pretty much about the curses of Rosemary's Baby. There might be more, but these are the more popular ones. But I'm going to talk about this interesting theory I found. And, some people may say, we don't need this. This has no proof at all.
We need this.
But we need this.
We need this.
We need this.
What are we without it?
Yeah. So I want you guys to pull out your tinfoil hats. I know you have them.
Oh, I got mine on already.
I've
had mine on the whole time.
And tune in your listening crystals.
Got those in my ears.
Yeah.
Got them in my ears set to full blast.
Full blast, yeah.
Yeah, no gain, full blast.
No gain, full blast, yep. But this theory has to deal with 4 components.
4.
4, count them.
Megatron. Jerry Seinfeld. Caillou. Lil Bill.
Oh, Lil Bill. What does that make?
The 4 horsemen of the apocalypse.
I mean, it is about the Antichrist, so yeah, that is the apocalypse.
Yeah, there we go. All right.
So, sorry. So the first one is the apartment building in Rosemary's Baby. The second one, the Beatles.
Ugh, hate those guys.
They get everywhere.
Ugh, they're in Bug's life.
Yeah, they're in Bug's life.
Oh my gosh.
Charles Manson, that's the other guy, and Sharon Tate.
So
let's start off with the apartment building.
Yes, the one in Manhattan.
The one in Manhattan.
1969.
68, 69. Yeah, correct. So the Bramford is a building.
That's the name of the apartment.
That's the name of the apartment in the movie.
Okay.
But it's an actual building in New York, but it's called the Dakota. And this was built like early 1900s, I think. And this...
That's funny because in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, he plays a guy named Dakota, but it's pronounced Dekatu.
Dekatu.
Yeah.
But the Dakota has been known to have a lot of ghosts.
Oh, classic.
Haunting.
Why else would you film there if you're going to film a scary movie? Why would you go film somewhere else?
Yeah. I mean, you're filming a movie about the Antichrist. Go big or go home. You don't
have to pay ghosts to be extras. They'll just be there.
Yeah. But that's not the reason why I bring up the Dakota.
Oh.
So in the Dakota, there's a lot of famous people that have lived there. One of them being John Lennon.
Johnson Lenson.
He was one of the members of the Beatles.
Oh.
So he lived there towards the end of his life because in 1980 he was murdered by superfan Mark David Chapman. Superfan.
Why would a superfan kill his idol?
He was kind of a religious nut. I will say that.
Was he kind of hoping he would absorb his life essence as it left its body?
Probably because he was schizophrenic.
Oh.
So this guy, he murders John Lennon. And crazy, man. Why do you murder a beetle? Why do you step on a beetle?
They're obnoxious. Maybe it's a stinky one. Ugh.
Yeah, disgusting.
Ugh.
But you know who else was a fan of the Beatles?
John Lennon.
No. Yeah, he probably was, maybe towards the end, not so much. But Charlie Manson was also a fan of the Beatles.
He did like some tunes. He hung out with the Beach Boys.
Who were the rivals of the Beatles.
They actually performed, the Beach Boys actually performed one of Charlie's songs. Charlie showed up and was like, "Hey, Carrie, I got a song I wrote." And they performed it, and Charles Manson was like, "Oh, I don't like how they perform. I'm going to perform myself."
Hey, man, I don't like that.
And that's actually what got Charles Manson arrested, was his awful performance.
Yeah, I mean, that's
why
he's in jail.
Yeah, it's just because he can't sing. If you can't sing, don't try.
Yeah.
That's what my parents always said. If you can't do it, don't try.
Don't try. Don't make me beat you.
They'll hit you with a freaking belt.
But Charlie Manson, he's a super fan of the Beatles, and the Beatles have this song called Helter Skelter. And if you know anything about Charles Manson, Helter Skelter is the kind of name for his apocalypse predictions. So, A, he's a super fan of the Beatles, and A, he loves Helter Skelter.
So far we got 2 A's.
He's a super fan, and A, he loves
Let's get a third A in there. It takes place at the haunted apartment. That's 3 A's. AAA insurance. We're not sponsored, but you should consider it.
I would consider it. So there's another dot that's connected. But what does Charlie Manson... how is Charlie Manson connected to Sharon Tate?
Brainwaves.
brainwaves and good vibes.
He shot his brainwaves across and convinced her to kill Johnson Lenson.
Exactly. But yeah, so if you've ever watched Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, Sharon Tate comes out with this flamethrower and starts flaming these guys. Well, 8 months pregnant.
Oh, wow. And then Megatron shows up. Megatron, Caillou, Bill, and Jerry Seinfeld from the Bee Movie show up.
They all show up and they all die. Sad to say.
Wow.
And yeah, so you would think, that's just coincidence. I doubt it. They are all connected because Roman Polanski, and this is where the theory gets juicy and it's thick.
Oh, some juice in this one. It's like leaving your peanut butter jelly sandwich in the bathtub all day.
Yeah, and then eating it.
Just absorbing that juice.
Yeah.
I'm hungry.
So
now.
Got to get me some of them pickles.
Oh, peanut butter pickles.
So they believe that, or people believe in this theory, that Roman's like Guy Woodhouse, who but let his wife become pregnant with the Antichrist.
For his own personal gain.
For his own personal gain.
Yes.
To become a popular director, because this was his first hit.
So he needed some real life story to go with the fictional story.
Yeah.
Oh.
So it is believed that Sharon Tate baby was the Antichrist. And Charlie Manson did not want that to happen because he loved the Beatles. And the Beatles are not Antichrist.
Is that really where this theory goes?
No, I was just spitballing.
Like,
but yeah, some people believe that
the baby that she was gonna have was the devil.
Was either maybe not the devil, but that Roman Polanski made a deal with the devil in order to get famous, and because he got famous, the devil wanted a soul, and Sharon Tate was that soul.
Wait, did he do any movies that were like big hits after that, Roman?
I'm gonna look him up because he did.
I swear, if he's
more
involved with any of the Transformers, any episodes of Caillou, Little Bill, any of those, the Bee Movie, I don't know what I'm gonna do.
So after Rosemary's, he did Macbeth.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Okay. Here's the deal, though. He's choosing things that are already like got big notoriety to make a movie off of, right?
Well, also, I didn't know this, but Macbeth, the 1971 version, has an X rating because of violence and nudity.
X?
Yeah, X.
We watched Macbeth in high school.
You did?
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure it was edited, but yeah, we did. We had to like get our parents to sign papers and stuff, and sure enough, they signed me away to the devil.
Man, the public school system is just crazy.
Oh my god.
Run by the devil.
They can't even teach me how to do taxes. They'll force me to watch X-rated movies.
And they didn't even say you can't eat Tide Pods. But
I still try to eat those. They just look so good.
They're like candy.
There's juice in there that I need in my mouth. I need that juice in my stomach.
I need it. The next movie is Chinatown, which has Jack Nicholson.
Mm-hmm.
I've seen it. It's okay. And then he did one other movie. So Oliver Twist.
He did a few, but not enough.
And not enough to be like,
oh, he sold his soul for fame, you know?
Yeah. Well, then afterwards, yeah.
Or maybe he did, and the devil was just like, why are you making B-rated movies still?
I told you I had a great script, and you didn't even read it.
You sold your soul to me. You just have to ask for my help.
I just want a freaking another satanic movie.
I'll give my Transformers script to freaking Michael Bay if you don't want it.
Yeah, come on, man. I'll give it to Michael Bay. He listens to me.
There you go. There you go, Michael. Have a good day, Michael.
Have a good day. But yeah, he directed a couple other hits, but like other than that, not much.
Okay. So pretty much what we've come to the conclusion is so Roman decided to film at a haunted location, and then a lot of his cast members suffered the consequences.
Correct.
He fled the scene. He went to Europe, left his pregnant wife there
to get killed
by insane boy Charlie.
Yeah.
And then John Lennon gets murdered in those same apartments because they're cursed.
Yeah. Well, because
by a crazy guy.
Because also Charlie Manson was a fan of the Beatles.
Yeah. And so for all we know, that guy was sent by Charlie.
Oh, yeah. Do you think Charlie orchestrated the murder of John Lennon because John Lennon left the Beatles?
Maybe. It could very well be. Is that why he got murdered? Was because he left? I didn't think about that.
Yeah, that's a possibility. But yeah, hey, we don't know. We'd like to hear your ideas. Please email us. You probably know our email already. Or just send mail or postage. I don't know if you know our addresses. I won't give them to you, but
send it to the closest Best Buy. I'll pick it up.
I live at Best Buy.
Oh yeah, we'll get it from Best Buy. Don't even worry about it.
But yeah, if you have any
messenger pigeons,
I've been drinking too much. But yeah, if you have any other like conspiracies, theories, please send them to us. And if I missed anything, I'm sorry. That's my bad. But email us about it. We'd love to hear you.
We need help connecting the dots. We have our bulletin board. We got a picture of Caillou. We got a picture of Charlie Manson, Sharon Tate, Megatron, Lil Bill, Roman Polanski, all the other cast, all these threads going everywhere, but nothing seems to line up. We need someone to solve this puzzle for us. I don't even know if
we need help.
Lock this. We'll half lock this.
We'll go.
We'll do the top. We'll do the deadbolt.
Deadbolt, yeah, okay.
But we'll leave the bottom lock.
Okay, so that was the deadbolt right there.
Yeah, that's the deadbolt. But I have the key, so we can come back.
Yeah, we can come back.
Or if I lose it, we can just pick it. It's a deadbolt.
I mean, why don't we just swallow the key?
Tune in next time for Tyler swallowing keys. ASMR.
All right, that'll take a week to come out.
Yeah, but yeah, that's it.
Yeah,
that's all we got.
I guess we need to leave you guys with some goodnight kisses.
One from each of the 4 horsemen of the apocalypse.
True.
First one from Caillou. Second one from Megatron.
I don't know how to robot kisses, so.
Actually, we're gonna help you out here. None from Lil Bill. We will give you one from Jerry Seinfeld from the B Movie, though.